Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you've all had a nice week out there. I can't complain here. It's been cooler than it should be for this time of the year in South Alabama. Shoot, we had a high of 82 today. Now it is a little bit overcast, but hey, I'll take that all day, any day. Looks like the tropics are heating up though, and there's a couple of storms that look good possibility of getting into the Gulf. So gonna have to keep an eye on that. Anyhow, today I want to talk about raw food diet, weight loss, and weight gain. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down and hit that red subscribe button. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. I tell you what, no matter how long I'm on social media or YouTube, this just gets asked over and over and over and over. I have people slip into my DMs on Instagram all the time. Asking me about weight loss, and it's frustrating. I want to help people with that because I found that, like, when I came to this lifestyle, I was just like, whoa. I almost felt like this lifestyle was cheating because I could eat all the food that I wanted to, and I still, got down to a certain weight, and I maintained weight for all those years. So it's just like, it's always like, okay, what else can I say to this person to get it through? Number one thing is have a little bit of patience. And I know that's easier said than done, especially with the more weight someone has to lose. It's just, I see that desperation, or I feel that desperation in the messages that I get from people, just like, just got to get it off, got to get it off. And I can understand that feeling, but it leads people to do drastic things. It leads people to do things that are counter to what they're trying to do. And it just ends up frustrating them on getting to their goal of actually losing weight. So be patient with it. It's not a diet. Do not approach this like a diet. Don't approach this like the Atkins diet, the South Beach diet, the keto, any of these diets out there. Because think about it. If you've ever done a diet, you've probably lost some weight. Everybody's lost weight. There's nobody out there that's never lost some weight. And most people have, at some point in their life, if they've struggled with it, they've lost a significant amount of weight. But what's the kicker? They don't keep it off. They always gain it back. And the reason is they go on a diet. And a diet is something that people do. Generally, they restrict things, and they don't eat, like, it's just not realistic. In other words, it's not something you're going to do for the rest of your life. Yes, you can do this for a set period of time. 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, 4 months, you can hang on and you will lose the weight. But as soon as you go to not being on that diet, as soon as you go to not having a plan or just a base of how you eat, then what happens 85, 90% or more of the time? You see that person that lost 40, 50 pounds right back up, and a lot of times gain more weight on the top of that. So just look at this more of a marathon. Don't look at this as, a sprint to where you're going to get there as quick as possible. Seek your health first. I know I say that all the time, but I hope I always know there's some new people pop into videos. So seek your health first. I just can't stress that enough. And I've said it over and over and over and over. If you are truly eating for your health, and you're you're consciously putting things into your body that, like, to maximize how your body works, how it operates, your weight is going to find its level. Your weight's going to find its level. And one of the biggest reasons about that is because the cleaner you eat, and here's another euphemism I've said a bunch of times, the cleaner you eat, the more you can eat. Because raw food is not that calorically dense. I mean, it's like, in other words, you can eat a lot of it. You can eat large volumes of it that and you're not getting a lot of calories. Pardon, the air conditioner just came on. It is warm enough for that. Whereas processed stuff, prepared stuff, fatty stuff, it's a lot more, like, you can eat something, like when you're eating oil. Let's just take oil, for instance. A tablespoon of oil is so full of fat, but it's very little, and it doesn't fill you up. Eat the things that are going to fill you up, and put that garbage to the side. You'll always be, I've never been hungry for 8.5 years, or 8 years. I've never been hungry on this lifestyle. I've never worried about my weight on this lifestyle. In fact, the reason I threw in weight loss and weight gain, the only thing I've worked on and struggled on is keeping weight on. So don't restrict yourself. Now, when I tell people, when you hear that, like people say, well, don't restrict what you eat. Well, isn't that basically what we're doing by only eating certain things? Well, it's what we mean. What I mean there, I shouldn't say what we mean. I don't know what everybody else means on that. But when I say don't restrict, I'm saying don't put these limitations. Like, don't restrict your calories. Don't like try to eat such a low amount of calories that you don't have the energy to sustain your body, because that's not a long-term strategy either. When people are like, when you like, and restricting, that's kind of a, that's kind of an arbitrary word right there. What do we actually mean by restricting? I don't think there's anything wrong when you're trying to lose weight on cutting, on eating a little bit less than say what you might eat if you are if you're just trying to maintain your weight. But you're not like you're not trying, when I'm talking about restricting, I'm talking about people that are eating like 1,000 calories, 1,200 calories, 1,500 calories. Because even 1,500 calories, you got to be a pretty small person for that to be enough calories for you to sustain on. So don't restrict yourself. If you need to, cut back a little bit. I've done that with gaining weight. Like everything I've done since I've been on this lifestyle, and this might be a weird analogy, is I like to think of myself as an ocean liner. I'm an ocean liner and I'm not a speedboat. In other words, an ocean liner doesn't just you don't just change directions like that with an ocean liner. It's a much more, you slowly, you veer and you change. Whereas a speedboat just can hop around. It can go right, it can go left. What I mean there is, I'm never making huge changes. Once I got on the kind of the path of how I do this and figured certain things out, like there's nothing now that I'm going to learn that's going to probably make me make a huge change in how I'm eating. I make little small changes. So you could do this in the other direction. I remember a couple of times in Costa Rica when I was working on trying to put on weight, I didn't want to just start like put on the feed bag and just eat like anything and everything, and throw in lots of almond butters and oils and stuff in there. So what I did is like I say, just little increments. Like I would just start adding like an extra, say 4 bananas a day, or the equivalent of 4 bananas a day. I'd add like maybe 500 calories in, see what that did to me, instead of trying to add an extra 2,000. In other words, like I say, not such extremes on this thing. Get yourself some good recipes, because it's really not that hard. And that's why I think sometimes I get frustrated trying to get through and help somebody on this. It's almost like if you met somebody and you guys want to communicate with each other, but you don't speak the same language, because what you see is what you get. After Amanda's been living here a little bit longer, maybe she can vouch for me, but I eat all the time. And, like I say, I have to work to keep the weight on. Coincidentally, it's funny, people talk about how it seems like everybody's gained weight or lost weight during this pandemic. I got on the scale this morning, and it's ironic, and I've probably been up and down. I'm not saying it's been like that the whole time, but I'm the same weight as when this pandemic began. So I'm not any heavier, not any lighter. As we start getting out of summer and going into winter, then my body will naturally. I've kind of gotten into the season thing since I've been in the States. And like right in the summertime, I'm around 162, 163. In the winter, I'll probably get up around 168, maybe 170. But it's, it's the gimmicky stuff. If it sounds gimmicky to you, don't do it. People do juice feast and juice fast. Juice feast and juice fast. I'm not. People tend to think that I'm against those or whatever. They're just not in my wheelhouse. That's not my thing to do. But I will tell you this: they're not for losing weight. If you are, if somebody does a juice fast at the beginning of, doing a plant-based diet or a raw food diet, so be it. No, that's not going to hurt you to clean out your body a little bit. But too many people try to use these gimmicks, these juice feast, or I'm going on an island to lose weight. And that's just not an effective way to do it, because that's like doing a diet. You're not going to live on a juice feast. You're not going to live on some kind of island where you're eating one fruit forever. So yes, you may lose some weight, but then when you go back to your same habits, it's all going to come right back. So try to develop those habits and try to think about your health. Listen, I promise you, if you focus on your health, you're going you're going to be fine. Eat a wide variety of foods. Just keep your fat reasonable, 10 to 15%. And like I always say with the cooked, don't sacrifice nutrition for raw. In other words, don't make a poor raw choice when you could have made a better cooked choice. Those sweet potatoes I eat, those are clean as you know what, and I swear by them. So anyhow, it's just like to finish. Like I said, I don't know if I've said anything new today, but it's not as hard as you think. It's just that you need to change your thinking on how to do this. It's not a diet. It's not a diet. It's not a diet. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again this weekend. Peace.